All right, everyone.
Helen,
Yeah.
where I can find the backdoor recording if I want to rewash it?
You can find them right on school if you just look up Backdoors and Breaches.
Coaching section, or it would be on coaching section recording or somewhere else?
Oh, no, these ones I just post, so if you just search them, I'll even show you real quick. Where'd it go? All right, so if you just go through here, you'll be able to find the recordings. All right. Welcome, everybody. So you guys are defenders at a company called Bybit2. You just received an alert that says the Web Application Firewall detected unexpected outbound HTTP requests that originated by an internal developer staging application. We know that the static asset bundle.js, rendered on dev workstation 09 failed. See that it failed the SRI check. The modified script attempted to fetch an external dependency from an unverified domain. I don't know why these got all weird. And there's no active deployment ticket found matching this modification. It's flagged for review. So, what do you guys think? Feel free to ask any clarifying questions about who we are. I can only give you guys so many details, but just a little reminder of how to play for anybody who might not remember. You guys are trying to find these 4 cards: the initial compromise, pivot and escalate, C2 and exfil, and persistent. Your company has 4 established detection methods, which means that when we roll the dice for them, you'll get a little bonus to the dice roll. And then you guys have a whole list of other ones. The picture on the post I just put up has the same exact game board on it, so you guys can easily look at the cards there if it's difficult to see here. But I'm also happy to zoom in on any of the cards here and read them. I'll give a quick read through of everything we have here so you guys can just have a quick rundown. We have cloud event log analysis, endpoint analysis, SIM log analysis, and UEBA, or user and entity behavior analytics, for your established detections. Then there's firewall log review, cyber detection, application runtime analysis, network threat hunting, cloud identity and entitlement management, active defense, cyber deception, consequence-driven threat hunting, cloud SIM log analysis, permissions audit, isolation, workload protection, physical security review, employee interview, call consultant, crisis management, server analysis, showdown review, sequence of events analysis, site walkthrough, firewall log analysis. Don't know how that's different than review. Endpoint security protection analysis, protocol analysis, software bill of materials analysis, and memory analysis. It's a lot. Like I said, these are all on the picture on my post. I forgot to add this. And we have that. So, see a message here. Application runtime. Yeah, let me find where that was. Here it is. Defenders use their application runtime security solution to view process tree traces of attacks against their application. Anybody have any cards they'd like to look at? Any clarifying questions? Anything?
Okay, yeah. Can I review the cards now?
Yeah, is there any specific ones you want to look at?
Yeah, I want to check the firewall log analysis.
Defenders analyze logs generated by the firewall to monitor network traffic patterns, detect unauthorized access, and identify anomalies such as unusual connections or high traffic volumes.
I do have a question. What is the difference between the four card at the top and those detection below? Sorry, I
These
know.
four,
Yes.
these
No, no,
four
no.
are,
At the
oh,
top,
these
no,
ones?
backdoor breaches.
Those are what the attacker did, and you're trying to find out what
Okay.
the attacker's, their route was. The attack chain. Network threat hunting.
If I understand detection, we have to figure out. I mean, we have to choose one below, which those detections we have to find one. If I understand right, what?
Yeah, you
Uh,
guys, you guys are gonna check out cards that you think are relevant based on the alert here. Separate this so it's a little easier to see. Um, you guys are gonna ask me clarifying questions, see if you can get any extra details that might be relevant. Look at detection methods that you have here, and decide what you're trying to find, and then we'll roll a dice to see how it goes. And Don wanted network threat hunting. I opened it, but I don't know if you saw. Defenders analyze network traffic to actively hunt for signs of malicious activity, such as unusual protocols, C2 communication, or data exfil.
Hayden, what are we trying to figure out right now? I'm sorry. I think I'm a little confused.
You guys only have this little bit of information, which is that the WAF detected unexpected HTTP outbound requests that originated from an internal dev station or dev application staging application. So right now you just want to try and see if you can find any of this information.
Yeah. Card again, the firewall log analysis card. I think it's relevant, for the investigation.
Firewall log analysis. See what the difference between this and firewall log review is. Defenders analyze logs generated by the firewall to monitor network traffic patterns, detect unauthorized access, and identify anomalies such as unusual connections or high traffic volumes. And the review, oh, that one doesn't really go into detail. We're just going to ignore that one then. Software bill of materials. Defenders use an inventory of SBOM to correlate whether or not a specific software package is present in their environment.
Okay,
Any other?
Review, because I'm finding it very difficult to read the investigation. Like, could you please help me review or read the investigation, like what we are actually finding, what we are actually looking for, please?
I think that's what I'm confused about, Sam. Are did I understand, Hayden? Maybe the information that we're given, we're trying to figure out what we used to get that information or what generated that information.
We think of it this way: you just got an alert. You just got an alert from your WAF, and now it's up to you guys to investigate that alert and see if it's malicious. And I mean, obviously, we know in this situation it is. So, we need to investigate and find out the details, because we can't make actions without having concrete evidence of what we're dealing with. Feel free to ask clarifying questions too. You can ask about who we are, you know, things like that. I can't, like I said, I can only give you guys so much information because all we have right now is this alert. But see, Connie's saying server analysis. Where are you at? Server analysis. Defenders monitor server activity, logs, and configurations to detect abnormal behaviors, such as unauthorized access, unusual traffic, or process anomalies.
Hey guys, so I want to step in a little bit here. So I'm going to help you guys understand what is going on. It sounds to be the issue right now, right? So what you need to really focus on is on the right side of the screen where Hayden has the notes, like the third part of it that says alert details. So you need to focus on that. That's your alert. So the alert detail says, right, there's an outbound HTTP request that is coming from an internal developer staging application. So there is an employee, for example, who is a developer. And now all of a sudden, there's some outbound HTTP request from his computer, right, coming from a staging application. So now your task is to figure out why is this happening? Why are we seeing outbound HTTP requests like this, which we have never seen before? So in order for you to figure this out, you have to go through the incident response process, which is understanding, okay, who is the user? Why are they doing this? What are you seeing that indicates that they did that? How did they do it? How did they do the HTTP request? That is what you're trying to figure out. And in order to figure that out, you have to understand what is logging. So how do logs work? What are we talking about here? We're talking about a web application, which is the WAF, Web Application Firewall. That's where it went through. So your next step should be to figure out where would these logs be found. If you've been in these sessions, you should have heard me talking about how to investigate logs. And to be able to do that, you need to focus on what am I looking for? Where would I find the information that I'm looking for? So hopefully that clarifies something for you guys. But you can go ahead and choose any card and look at it, take a look, and if you all agree on one card, you pick it up and that should be it. But hopefully that provides some more context.
Understand it better, and I think I'm still going with that firewall log analysis card. I think I fully now want to open that card. I don't know if anybody would want to support me with it, since it's a web application.
I think excuse me, I think firewall logs is probably a good starting point, either that or network. But I think firewall, since we're talking about firewall, is probably a good starting point.
I'm torn between the network.
I'll do a quick read through of the firewall log analysis and network threat hunting.
Okay.
Defenders analyze logs generated by the firewall to monitor network traffic patterns, detect unauthorized access, and identify anomalies such as unusual connections or high traffic volumes. And network threat hunting. Defenders analyze network traffic to actively hunt for signs of malicious activity, such as unusual protocols, C2 communication, or data exfiltration. And Danica says, I believe, agreeing with firewall log analysis.
Yeah.
Sounds like
we gotta start somewhere. So,
all right.
Yeah, let's do firewall.
Firewall log analysis. Oof, I'm sorry, guys. That is a failed roll. So it was either political, financial, technological, or personnel-wise. I believe, Samuel, you were the one to initially. There are definitely several detection methods to answer your question real quick.
I chose a server analysis. I don't know if that is true or not. server analysis.
Yeah, I'm looking for it real quick. Why am I not seeing? There it is. Defenders monitor server activity, logs, and configurations to detect abnormal behavior, such as unauthorized access, unusual traffic, or process anomalies. Keep in mind, though, as well, that the firewall log analysis only failed because of your dice roll. And Samuel, since you were the one to suggest firewall log analysis, a little exercise here. Why did that one fail? Was it political, financial, technological, or personnel?
Sorry, I don't get. Sorry, I didn't get you. Are you asking me why it failed? Sorry, I didn't get you.
Yeah. When a dice roll just fails, we try to ask. I try to usually ask whoever suggested it, just to keep things fluid. But generally speaking, because there's a million reasons a procedure or detection method can fail, other than there not being information. So a little exercise to help think of that is to think of another reason why it could have failed.
Okay, maybe there are other, maybe there are other logs that were more of priority than the firewall log analysis. But please, could you also help me? Like, I can't see the card, so please, could you help me read them one more time so that we just. Sorry.
I don't know if that helps a little bit. Which one did you want to take a look at?
I think is there anyone talking about like web application or HTML, like the web application site or something?
Well, you guys can
I
always
think we
do
need.
firewall log analysis again. And I know that Don is sticking with application runtime. There it is. Defenders use their application runtime security solution to view process tree traces of attacks against their applications. So uh, that goes pretty well with what you were asking about, Samuel. If you guys want to stray away from the firewall log analysis. So right now, Don's thinking we need to look for supply chain injections. What do you guys think?
I think that's fair enough. Let's check it out. And
Application runtime, you want to check that one out?
yes, the application runtime exactly. Yeah, since it's an HTTPS.
Of course. Anybody else agree or disagree? You guys are all a team.
I think yes, we can because the information is about HTTP requests. So I think that that might be a good one.
All right. Here we go then. Sorry guys, that's another failed dice roll. Once again, it wasn't because of the lack of information, it was another reason in the organization. Feel bad, Don. You're always having really bad luck with your dice rolls. At least you're in Hawaii instead of Vegas, right? Do you guys want to try one of those again, or do you guys want to look somewhere else? Because so far, it hasn't been due to lack of information that you guys have failed these roles. It's been due to, you know, executives not giving you guys enough breathing room and putting too much on you guys.
Yeah, let's check some other cards. Let's check some other cards.
Did you have any specific ones in mind?
Yeah, is there anyone talking about the server? Like, is there anyone talking about server analysis or reviewing of server?
Like, we have several analysis cards. Is there a specific type of analysis you'd like to do? We have cloud event log analysis, endpoint analysis, SIM log analysis, application runtime, cloud SIM, server, sequence of events, firewall logs, endpoint security protection, protocol, software bill of materials, and memory analysis. And
Okay,
Don's
let's
suggesting network threat hunting again. What were you about to ask about, Simon?
yeah, I wanted to say about the software. Software, is it network analysis? Something software. Can we check that
Software
one out?
bill of materials.
Yes, exactly. Yes, yes.
The defenders use an inventory of SBOM to correlate whether or not specific software package is present in their environment. I would say with this one, we don't know any details yet, so we don't know. There's nothing here about any specific packages that we would want to be looking into.
What about the server analysis? The same? We don't have any detail.
There's not a cyber analysis card. Is
The
there a specific?
server
Oh, server
analysis.
analysis. Sorry, I thought you said cyber analysis. I
No.
misheard. Defenders monitor server activity, logs, and configuration to detect abnormal behaviors such as unauthorized access, unusual traffic, or process anomalies. And then Don asked about endpoint analysis, and that one's actually an established detection, so you guys would get a bonus to your dice roll. Investigate endpoint devices to identify IOCs, unauthorized changes, and suspicious activities. Don saying endpoint analysis. What do you guys think?
Yeah,
I've got
I'm
a
supporting.
server analysis in this.
I think let's go with endpoint analysis. let's check it out. Since it's both the incident
Me,
response.
I say server analysis because this is about HTTP. HTTP can be, HTTP server, but I don't know. I'm just, giving my
Yeah,
opinion.
You guys are both making
yeah,
great points. Why don't we leave it up to a vote?
uh,
Just put it in
yeah.
the chat.
I think the server analysis has more. It's talking about the traffic. It's true. I just checked it out now. Yeah, it's talking about unusual traffic, and the what we are looking for is also a web application firewall traffic, which is I think maybe I'll prioritize the server analysis before the endpoint. So I think I'm voting for the server analysis.
All right, we got 2 for server. What about you, Brittany and Don? Do you guys think server or endpoint analysis?
I'm still thinking endpoint because we're looking for a specific developer, right?
We do have a specific developer, yes.
So
Dev
I'm saying
Workstation
endpoint because we
9.
want to figure out who that workstation is.
You guys both of these have great arguments, so it's a
I
tough
know
choice.
that's kind of hard. I'm kind of. So risky. I'm gonna go on Don's side.
All right, so that gives us an even split. Gladys, what do
You gonna
you?
make us rock paper scissors this?
I was gonna see if Gladys wanted to be the tiebreaker.
Oh, come on, Gladys.
Yeah, so sorry, I missed that part. Which two are they looking at?
They're looking at endpoint analysis and server analysis. Don's argument for endpoint analysis is that it's an established detection and we know which workstation is currently infected. And then server analysis because we know it's HTTP requests going through the server in the firewall. And right now we have an even split between people who want server analysis and endpoint analysis.
I don't think either could work. I think it depends now on the points they're gonna get, because you're gonna find something either way in any of those. But I would probably start with the firewall on the or the server if I were looking at this rather than the endpoint.
All right. So Gladys spoke. She said server based on what we were debating between. Does that sound good to you guys? See
Yeah,
Samuel
yeah,
agrees.
She
yeah,
broke the tie, so it's only fair.
Very
yeah.
good.
So she's with us. She's with servers. She's with me and Benny.
Success. So that was server analysis. Let's see, oh my god, this picture's so small. Unfortunately, guys, there's nothing to find with server analysis actually. So we can just throw an X there. We know.
Oh, that's interesting.
Honestly, based on the scenario, that surprises me too. So
Wow. Okay. This is weird. Okay. Yeah, I would guess they can go with the next one. That's how this game is, right? Sometimes you just don't find anything. But that's, yeah, they should probably go with the endpoint, I guess, because it'll give them something.
all right, endpoint analysis. And this one, you guys get your bonus. Sorry, guys. Dice are not on your team today. So that was just a failed roll. Do you guys want to try that, or do you guys want to look at anything else?
Endpoint analysis fail?
You guys want to try endpoint analysis again, since that was just a really
No,
bad
no, no.
dice roll?
No. I'm just asking if like the endpoint, because we voted server analysis and endpoint. So have you tried endpoint analysis? It failed or not?
Yeah, that's what this was here. Is you guys got a
Oh.
+3 to the dice roll, and unfortunately, you rolled a 2. So you guys can try endpoint analysis again because it was just a luck of the draw. Don says roll again. You guys do have your special cards here if you ever feel like you want more information. Do you guys want to try that again, or do you guys want to look at anything else?
Sorry, if we try that again, what does it mean? Sorry, I just want to understand what if we are trying the endpoint again, so that I understand what we are searching for.
Yeah. So there's just a million reasons why you might not find something besides the data not being there. And unfortunately, one of those reasons was why you guys didn't find anything with endpoint analysis. So you guys can try again and see if anything shows up. Since it was just, we'll say it was technological. The system just tool you were using just wasn't working with you today. So you failed the dice roll there and just couldn't find anything because you couldn't do anything. So now you guys are able to try again, or you guys can try something else.
I want to clarify something real quick. I think you guys are basing yourself too much on the network because it says HTTP request. HTTP request doesn't mean that this is a network compromise. So the compromise is the network is not compromised in any way. Just give you guys a quick tip there. So this is more of like a code level type thing because you see it's a developer and it's on a staging application, and sometimes developers get targeted because they know that they're always running code, and developers are the worst people. Their security practices are so bad. So that's probably why they're targeted here. So it's not network related, just so you know.
I'm not going to go into any more detail about it, but I will give you guys the hint that someone mentioned something that was very close earlier. So you guys have been in previous guesses on the right track. What are you guys thinking? Any cards you want to look at?
I'm thinking maybe we need to interview some employees.
Team gets to interview the operators, architects, vendors, security personnel, and management at the site of the incident.
Yeah, is there any card that is talking about the maybe a kind of code or something or tool? Is there
There
any
you
card
go,
talking about
Samuel.
that?
Now you're thinking, and you have to think about applications, right? Do you have anything application related, Hayden?
We have application runtime
Application
analysis,
runtime.
which is something Don's been suggesting. Do you guys want to look into that? You
I
look
thought
We
at the
tried
application.
we ran
we
that one.
tried that before.
I was about to say we ran that one.
You guys
Yes.
tried that one, but the dice rolls have just all failed.
Did you guys look
So
at the information inside of it? That's the question. Because there's two things, right? In Backdoors and Breaches, the dice rolling, correct me if I'm wrong, Hayden, but the dice rolling is just the fun part of it, right? It's not part of
yeah,
the incident. It's just like fail or pass. It doesn't mean that you did wrong. So if you roll your dice, even if it fails, you can still decide to look at the card inside of it. That's where you find information.
yeah,
So
you
did you
guys
guys
could.
look at the information here or no?
Yeah, they looked at the information here and they did try it once. They just failed the dice roll. You
Oh.
guys could realistically um, guess every single card right and fail every roll, and that's just sometimes the luck of the draw, unfortunately. And that's very much how the real world can work too. So, but that the dice is just a way to gamify it. Don still thinks we need to look at the endpoints.
Yeah, and I also think we can check out the application stuff and then check the code security something because yeah.
So we have application runtime analysis and endpoint analysis currently
Okay,
for
but sorry, so that I get you well, do you mean that we can like check, open the cards and then we could read the information in the cards and it could help us roll the dice again to win by getting?
Yeah, you guys just need to decide based on the information you have, which unfortunately because of your dice rolls is pretty limited. But you guys just want to look at the descriptions of what the detection methods are and see if it's the right one to try and find out information that we do have. So we know that staging application on a developer's computer. We know that it was a Web Application Firewall alert. Those are the two biggest hints that you guys have right now.
So let me ask you guys this. What do you feel like you're looking for right now?
I'm still looking for that endpoint. I'm sorry, the workstation.
The workstation itself? Well, I'm not sure the workstation really helps here, Don, because remember, we're dealing with an application, and the developer could really be staging this application on any system at this time. It doesn't really have to be his own system. So it's like, okay, if you're looking for the workstation, what do you want to do with the workstation? Want more details?
Because something that can just give us a hint.
If I understand, is about because here, like in the detail, number one is um, static asset bundle render on dev workstation failed. Subsource integrity. So they say the modified script attempted to fetch an external dependency from an unverified domain. So I believe we have to check that how it
So
happened
where do
and
you
why.
find that? Where do you find that? Where do you find this thing that was being run by the developer?
Where I can find that?
Yeah, because something was being run that's
Yes.
looking up this domain. So where would you
Mhm.
find the thing that's causing that? Where would you see, like, how was the application actually staged? Was it actually compromised? Was it a C2 or was it just credentials that were stolen? How do you know without knowing what application was even run in the first place?
That's why I think it's application runtime analysis.
Application runtime analysis. Vendors use application runtime security solution to process tree traces again of attacks against their application.
But isn't that going to focus specifically on runtime behavior and not give us anything else?
No, I don't think so
No.
because look at the detail, right? It says solution to view process tree traces. So what happened? What kind of processes were being run as part of this, right? It will give you those details. It will give you, I'm guessing it will give you like maybe the script that was run, if there was any, was this script malicious? I guess you can then analyze from there. That's where I would start by looking at those scripts and stuff. But again, it's up to you guys to look at other cards.
You guys want any hints or anything to, you have your special cards as well here, called Consultant Isolation in Crisis Management. But there's a penalty if you fail them.
I think we give application runtime a roll and see if that works. And hopefully the
Right.
dice like us.
All
I
right,
think
you got.
yeah, I think I support that. I think I support it.
All right, that's 3 votes. You guys know what you're looking for, and you know what you want to do. Let's go. And it's a 5. The dice are just not on your guys' team today. I think this is the most failed dice rolls we've gotten in one of these games.
Yeah, this is not good.
I mean, if we get another one, I'll probably give you guys an extra turn because I don't want it to just be failed dice roll the whole game. Well, with that, what do you guys think? Do you guys want to try again, or do you guys want to try something else?
Do we want to
I
call a
think we have to
consultant
try
at this point?
something else.
Yeah, let's just try something else.
I mean, is it going to be? I'm so curious now because I heard what Gladys said. We're thinking network, but we haven't tried the network one, have we?
Oh, that's true.
Network threat hunting.
I'm not sure.
Defenders analyze network traffic to actively hunt for signs of malicious activity, such as unusual protocols, C2 communication, or data exfil.
I've been wanting to
Yeah,
use that one for a minute. So
I have too. It was on my mind at first, but like I said,
I think
yeah,
we can
use
try
it.
that.
I mean, right now
yeah,
we just
let's try.
let your hand roll. So at this point,
All
Yeah,
right.
let's try it out. Let's try it out.
Okay, well, this time because you
seriously,
guys got 3 failed rolls, you get an inject, which that can be good or bad. So let's see what we get. Oh, it's a good one. You guys attended a
Whoa.
recent Huntress Tradecraft Tuesday episode about quick forensics for the lazy investigator. This taught defenders the latest persistent techniques used by attackers, and you guys get the persistence card.
Whoa, that's great.
So,
With that,
which one did you select it? Which one did you select it? The
that
network one?
was you guys did network threat hunting. You failed, but when you get 3 failed rolls in a row, you get an inject card, and those are think like Monopoly, where you can get like chance, where it's like you draw the card, and it could be like move to the nearest railroad, or it could be like go to jail. Like it could be good or bad. You guys got one that revealed malicious browser plugins as the persistence mechanism. The attackers install a browser plugin that executes malicious code and tracks activity while evading detection. And with that, we have some details. Some malicious browser
Yay, happy for
plugins.
you guys. That's perfect. Because now
Yeah,
you at
great.
least you know what type of attack it is. You know it's a malicious browser plugin. It's not credential theft or anything like that.
So with this, we found trusted
Heading. How
process.
did you get? I mean, uh, I
so we
just
got this
wanna.
information about being wrong.
Technically, technically, it's
Your
that's how
guys's
Oh,
DMB works, right?
the the CEO
wow.
of Bybit2 decided that you guys were dunking up your investigation so hard that they made you go to the conference, and you guys learned about persistence mechanisms there. So
Yeah.
we found malicious browser plugins, and with that, we have some information. So forensics on key administrative machine uncovered a rogue browser extension running entirely inside the active memory space of a legitimate, trusted web browser process. The extension was designed to silently inspect and intercept active document object model or DOM data strictly when administrative users access Bybit2's internal web interfaces. Instead of dropping persistent files on the disk, the plugin monitored active sessions to capture transaction approval requests in real time while bypassing local endpoint antivirus software, and the script contained logic to alter what was rendered on the screen during administrative workflows while keeping all standard system features operating without visual lag. All right, we've got some information now. Got a
So
little more here.
I would like to talk a bit about this. So you guys should not get too excited, right? Because the card that was revealed looks like was persistence. So it's pretty much the end of the chain of the attack. So you still have to figure out the initial access, initial compromise, pivot and escalation, C2, all those cards on the top, you still have to do them. So you kind of have the end road, but you still don't know what happened before they get there. Just to give you a clue, you still got to find that. So there's still some work to be done here.
Endpoint or malicious? You want to look at endpoint analysis? Hey, Audrey, how's it going? Give you a quick rundown of where we're at. You
Oh,
guys got
a workstation name? Is that, did I see something somewhere, Hayden? Oh, here
the
we go.
workstation?
And you have your workstation. Yeah, now you guys know what workstation the dev was working on. That's good.
Real quick, since Audrey just joined in, I'll give a quick rundown of where we're at right now. You guys got an alert saying the Web Application Firewall detected unexpected outbound HTTP requests originated by an internal developer staging application. Static, oh my God. Static asset bundles rendered on Dev Workstation 9 failed sub-resource integrity checks. The modified script attempted to fetch an external dependency from an unverified domain, and no active deployment ticket was found matching this modification. You guys have not had good luck so far, and so far you guys are 6 turns in, and you've got the persistence mechanism. And that's fine that you can't talk. We'll ask for your opinion in the chat if you'd like to provide it there. You don't need to be on. But and the last thing that was happening was Don was saying we should check out endpoint analysis again. Vendors investigate endpoint devices to identify IOCs, unauthorized changes, or suspicious activities. Endpoint is going to directly target the browser extension, file paths, and memory for the workstations. Anybody agree or disagree?
Yeah, I think I agree. I think I agree. And I also saw firewall logs in the detection of the other cards. You know.
Yeah, we have firewall log analysis. So we tried that one initially and just failed the dice roll. So we do have that
Yeah.
again. And we have, I mean, the only one that we know anything about is we know server analysis is not going to find anything. Connie is currently saying we should try endpoint analysis.
So I think either endpoint or firewall is going to be our best bet.
So let's take a little vote then. Seems like those are the two that we're thinking. It's in the chat. Just let us know. Okay, we got endpoint analysis. Any other votes, guys? Endpoint analysis or firewall log analysis right now is the two we're between. They're both good choices. Endpoint analysis does get that +3 to the dice roll.
What do you think, Samuel? What do you think, Connie, Brittany?
I say endpoint analysis.
Yeah,
Have you
let's go with
tried? Have
endpoint
you
first.
tried that?
Endpoint analysis.
I believe.
All right. Here we go. All right. Success.
Yay! Finally.
It's yeah. Yeah.
All right. So we will get this card.
Yeah,
Supply
and I
chain
also think
attack.
we can.
What's that?
Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
So you guys revealed supply chain attack. The attackers insert malware into the update process of one of your key enterprise management tools. This gives them direct access to the heart of your infrastructure. And again, I've got more details here. Great job, guys. All right. So investigators identified a compromised third-party JavaScript package hosted on a public repository that was pulled directly into Bybit2's staging build environment. Static asset checks flagged that the fingerprint of a core utility library bundle failed its expected validation hash immediately after a routine developer update. The malicious script was hidden deep inside a benign-looking analytics wrapper, executing only when specific internal environment parameters matched Bybit2's staging domain. The initial code execution was isolated to a single developer workstation, running quietly with standard user permissions during normal software build cycle. All right, you guys got 3 turns left and 2 cards remaining.
Yeah, I wanted to say that we could also check firewall analysis, firewall logs analysis. I don't know if you guys will support. Don, what do you think? Tony and Brittany, what do you think?
I think that we've found the initial attack, the access. So at this late in the game, with only 3 rolls left, I think we need to remediate, isolate. I don't know. What do you think?
Isolation will give
I
you
believe so. I believe so.
Isolation will give you guys 3 turns of a bonus to your rolls. With 3 turns left, that would mean if you pass, you get 2 turns with a bonus to your roll. And failing would get you an inject.
I'm thinking we need to isolate because we know our workstation now.
I like how you guys are thinking towards this. That's nice. We're now thinking towards containment. Great job, guys.
Anybody else agree or disagree with isolation?
Yeah, let's isolate.
All right.
Do you guys have a card for that? What is the
Yeah,
card called?
there's literally an isolation card, but there's no detections as far as I've seen. That there's no cards that this can detect. Same with Call Consultant and Crisis Management, which is why I added my own effects to the
Mm,
cards.
okay, so what happens if they do isolation?
If they isolate them, they get a bonus for a couple of turns. But if they fail, the attacker will know that they're onto them and they'll draw an inject, which could reveal something. But in the last game, our inject that we drew ended up giving the attacker a secondary, I think it was initial access card. So it is definitely a double-edged sword, potentially.
Okay, it's up to you guys. Good job.
And I mean, for the sake of the fact that we only have 2 turns after we use this, if you guys pass it, I'll give you 2 turns of +3 instead of 3 turns of +2. You guys want to do isolation?
I think we
Yeah,
try
let's
to
go on with the
isolate.
isolation. Yeah, let's go on with the isolation.
All right, success. So you guys got 2 turns left, 2 cards left, and you get +3 to your rolls on this next 2 turns.
Okay, hang on. I gotta think for a minute.
Sorry, I can't see the cards, but is there any kind of network configuration, like a kind of cutting shots of a VLAN, a particular sub network, a segmentation, cutting it off? Is there? I can't see the cards, but I'm just asking: is there any kind of
The first,
configuration?
the first thing that comes to mind in terms of network is network threat hunting. But that's not necessarily about configurations. That one's unusual protocols, C2 communication, or data exfil, which
Okay, so there is no network segmentation there. Is there any like network segmentation trying to?
no, but there is a hint in this that could help.
Isn't our network threat hunting gonna give us a look for C2 beaconing?
Yeah, because network threat hunting looks for C2 communication and data exfiltration. You guys still have C2 and exfil flipped.
What was the last thing you said, Hayden?
You guys still haven't found C2 and exfil and pivot and escalate. Network threat hunting looks for unusual protocols, C2 communication, and data exfiltration.
I think that's what we need to do. I think we need to look for C2.
What's everyone else think? Hey, how's it going, Pablo?
The question I want to ask is, do you want to look for network threat hunting before you isolate, or do you want to isolate first and then look for network threat hunting?
Oh, they already isolated. They
Yeah,
passed the roll, so they've
oh,
got
they
plus.
did. Oh, nice.
They've
I did not realize that.
yeah, they've
Okay.
got a bonus to their last couple of rolls here. So
Great job, guys. Perfect.
yeah, fantastic.
I thought you were trying to skip that.
So
Okay.
I'm thinking still network threat hunting or firewall logs, but I think network threat hunting is going to be the best to look for C2.
Now we have an odd number of people, so we can take the vote as needed.
Is that a candidate
Pablo,
or will be the first?
So Don's
Pablo, what
saying
do you
either
think?
network threat hunting or firewall log analysis. Pablo, just a quick rundown. You got an alert from your WAF that detected unusual outbound HTTP requests. Static bundle rendered on dev workstation 9 failed the SRI check. Modified script attempted to fetch external dependencies from an unverified domain, and no active deployment ticket was found that matched the modifications. And they have discovered the initial access was supply chain attack, and persistence was malicious browser plugins. So right now we are trying to figure out the pivot and escalate and the C2 and exfil.
You know, we haven't looked at our seam logs yet.
It's true. That's actually usually the first one we try.
That
So
might
right
be
now,
something we take a look at.
it's worth noting that that one is an established detection as well. So you guys would actually get +6 if you rolled for sim log analysis.
Let's just can you open the card of Simlog? Let's see what's.
Yeah. Defenders use SIM to aggregate logs from systems and devices to identify abnormal patterns such as unusual access, traffic, or attack signatures.
Wow, I think Simlog is something we need to consider too. Although I was like trying to say, since it's a kind of firewall issue or web application, maybe the firewall log analysis will be more of an importance than the SIM log, but I think the SIM log is also something you can consider.
Yeah, I think that we probably should peek at those SIM logs. We haven't done that yet.
Anybody else agree or disagree? Has anybody
So,
figured out who the threat
didn't
actor
you
is
say
yet?
something about Waza? What did it say something about Waza?
Yeah, it was as one of the tools. This part of the game is it shows you the tools for each thing, so you can also go and try them yourself. So there's a lot of cool stuff. If you guys ever are like, I saw a tool in one of these cards and I forgot what it's called, but I really want to go check it out, just let me know and I'll help you out and let you know. So right now I've got 3 votes for sim log analysis. I think that's our winner right now. And you guys are
Yeah,
looking specifically for the unusual traffic right now.
yeah, I'm sticking with SIM.
All
Yeah, let's
right.
go ahead with SIM. When we are done with SIM, we can now check the threat intelligence. Let's go.
Success. Sim log analysis.
I like
I was
that
worried
green.
for a second. You guys got the only card that you can get with sim log analysis from this scenario.
Oh,
Domain
was that a
fronting is the
success?
C2.
Wow.
That was, you guys have 1 card left.
Wow. Congrats.
Congratulations, guys. Keep it up.
Yeah.
I've got some updates. I actually forgot to give you guys updates through this. I was so distracted by
Yeah.
all the
Thank you.
conversation as
Thank you,
this was
Don, for
going.
it. Yeah, thanks, Don. She brought our attention to the SIM log rather than just the firewall log analysis.
So I've got a few things for you guys. I'm going to give you guys the details from the domain fronting. And then I've got a few little updates that I forgot to tell you guys through the game that were just little events from the attacker moving around. It wouldn't have made a huge difference, but for now, network traffic analysis revealed outbound HTTPS calls utilizing modified HTTP host headers to route traffic through a legitimate high reputation content delivery network, or CDN. Command and control, or C2, communications were entirely wrapped in standard TLS encryption, making the malicious traffic look like routine external web application asset requests. By leveraging the trusted domain of a major public cloud CDN, the outbound payload requests completely bypassed standard firewall and web proxy blocking lists. The encrypted channel was used to send real-time configuration instructions down the application layer, staging the eventual destination address swap for high-value operations. And then a few things. I got 3 events I forgot to tell you guys about, and then 1 that takes place now. At turn 3, whispering starts circulating the internal DevOps and engineering Slack channels. A developer reports that their IDEs are running unusually slow and auto-syncing packages and to staging servers without active PR approvals. On turn 5, the SOC team received an urgent external threat intel flash from an industry ISAC group. A major crypto platform just suffered a silent API token harvest stemming from malicious open source packages. You guys had already gotten that card by then. And then turn 7, the VP infrastructure pops into the war room asking for a status report. They mentioned that leadership's preparing for scheduled multi-million-dollar asset rebalancing from cold storage to hot wallets later today, asking if the systems are totally clear to proceed. And now, on turn 9, on your last turn here, we just got this. Network traffic suddenly drops to near normal levels, and previous noisy alerts stop firing. However, automated pre-transaction logs show an active administrative session logging into the main Treasury interface. One sec. Does anybody know what Bybit is?
What? I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
What Bybit is?
Sorry, I just wanted to say something. I think the firewall log is under the CM log. I think that's what I just observed, that the firewall log is under the CM log. So it's the CM log is a kind of the housing is the CM log is housing the fire log.
Yeah, that's how it should be, Sam. So, what's CM? CM is correlating everything, right? All the details, firewall logs, other logs that you can think of, everything is going to be under the CM. That's why it's always a good option because when you go in there, you can find logs from the firewall, you can find login logs, you can find Windows logs, everything is going to be in one place. So, yeah.
So I got one last little update for you guys for the last turn here. So the final payload, whoops, that's not it. I already read that alert. So emergency treasury authorization just came in. Realizing the firm is minutes away from total insolvency, the executive management has opened the floodgates. The defenders get an emergency budget boost, giving you guys unlimited funds for 2 extra. You have 2 options. So I will either give you guys a bonus to 1 roll. I will narrow down to 3 cards, 1 real and 2 fake. Or I will just give you guys a big bonus to 1 last roll. I'll let you guys decide which one you think would best suit your situation right now.
Okay, so you're gonna give us 3 cards for us to choose one. Is that what you mean?
You guys have a couple of options. You can either have 3 cards where one of the 3 cards is a detection method, and the other 2 are not that, like, not relevant.
Yeah.
And then I also, another option would be just an extra bonus to 1 last roll, where you guys pick a card like normal for your last turn and get a bonus. Now I'm spacing what the last one was. 3 cards. Yeah.
I think
So
the three cards will be better. I think it's better you give us 3 cards so that we'll be able to select one of them that will be the correct one, because I think maybe we'll be able to be to spot it out. Let's see.
all
What
right.
about UBIA and cloud event logs? Can we look at those?
Yeah. Real quick first, do you like the choice that Samuel mentioned that I had given you guys? Where I'll give you guys 3 cards. 1 of them is real and 2 of them are fake, and you guys have to choose the right one for your last turn, or would you guys rather 1 big bonus for your last turn?
Either way, I'll go with majority.
I think 3 card would be fine.
3 cards. All right. So before we do that, let me see what I've got here. We just did the sim log analysis, so that one's fine. Let's see. We're gonna say your last 3 cards are. Try to think of some good ones. We'll say sequence of events analysis is one of them. Cloud event log analysis is one of them. And the last one will be had one that I was just thinking, and I was endpoint security protection analysis.
I think cloud.
Me too, cloud.
What are you looking for in the cloud? Because keep in mind, this is pivot and escalate
Yeah,
that
I
we're
was
looking for
thinking
now.
about endpoints, but I don't know cloud. I was thinking about endpoint. Although that sorry, can I see that sequence card again, please?
Yeah,
Can I see that
sequence of
sequence card?
events analysis is reviewing the data historian and sequence of events recordings can determine which part of the process showed signs of impact during what time period this occurred and in what order. Cloud event log analysis. The defenders monitor, collect, and examine event logs generated by cloud-based systems and services to identify potential security incidents, misconfigurations, or unusual or unauthorized activities. And then endpoint security protection analysis. The defenders deploy and monitor endpoint security solutions to detect and prevent unauthorized access and activity on endpoints. So you guys have one of those cards to choose. One of them is a detection method that'll work, and the other two are not.
I'm still thinking
That's
cloud.
cloud.
I'll write them in here so we have them.
Sorry. Is there?
Can you repeat the 3 cards one more time? Sorry.
Yeah, I'm writing them in the chat so it's easier.
Sorry, Don. You going with cloud? I wanted to ask, is there anything there related with cloud? Because like I was thinking, is there?
Say that one more time, or were you asking Don a question? I didn't hear the first part.
Yeah, I was asking Don. Like I wanted to say that is there something that maybe that is related to cloud that maybe I'm not seeing? You know.
Well, for cloud, I was just thinking that that's gonna uncover well, I mean, it's gonna show us cloud resource access. So
Samuel's got you thinking.
yeah.
That's what teams are for.
Isn't that gonna show us, won't that show us like deployment, how
Cloud event log.
yeah.
Collect, examine event logs generated by cloud-based systems and services to identify potential security incidents, misconfigurations, or unusual or unauthorized activities.
I'm still thinking we look at cloud for the behavior.
Okay, but I wanted to check that sequence. That sequence is it showing? Is it showing like if is it showing the kind of impact? Is it also showing the impact?
The cloud
The
event log
sequence
analysis?
no, the
Oh, sequence of
sequence.
events.
Yes. Is it showing? Is it showing impact?
Signs of impact during what time
Oh,
period this occurred and in what order.
okay. Okay, yeah, because well, because I don't know if if the attack if we've discovered the kind of impact that the attacker was able to do or to harm. So I was thinking if it has impact, I don't know, maybe it's a good catch, but it's open to our voting. And then sorry, the other one is threat endpoint detection, right?
Endpoint
We,
security protection analysis.
we still haven't looked at UEBA either.
I narrowed it down to 3 cards, so you guys
Oh,
have the
that's
3
right. That's
cards
right.
here.
That's right.
So one of those 3 cards I listed is a detection method for your last card, and the other 2 are not.
I think I might go with that impact, the one that the impact, the sequence, the one that shows up that talks about impact, because since we've not understood the level of impact, I don't know if that would be great. So, but it's open to So voting, anybody can have their view, and let's see. So Don, what do you think, Don?
I think endpoint, out of what we've got left, I mean, that's going to give us direct visibility, right?
Mm-hmm.
Defenders deploy and monitor endpoint security solutions to detect and prevent unauthorized access and activity on endpoints.
I'm
So
sorry.
what are?
Sorry.
Go ahead, Samuel.
Okay. Sorry, Hayden. I just wanted to ask the last part we are looking for. What is it saying? Like the last heading in the backdoor
You're
breaches, the
looking
cards
for
there.
pivot and escalate.
Okay, pivot and escalate.
So you're looking about how they moved and how they elevated their privileges.
Okay. How they moved and how they elevated their privileges. Okay. Okay.
I still believe cloud, but I don't know.
It's a tough choice.
Yeah, it is because I'm also why, as you just said, how they moved and how they elevated privileges. Impact maybe all. Well, I don't know. Let me not be too pushy. Say it that way.
But endpoint, I don't know. I was thinking cloud, but now I'm thinking endpoint.
So right now it sounds like we're torn between cloud and endpoint. Do you guys want to
Yes.
leave it up to a vote now?
What's our third card?
Is sequence of events analysis.
Can we
But
look at
isn't
that card?
endpoint? Sorry, Pablo.
No, I just wanted to see that other card real quick. Just
Oh yeah, sorry. Reviewing the data historian and sequence of events recordings can determine which part of the process showed signs of impact during what time period this occurred and in what order. Then cloud event is defenders monitor, collect, and examine event logs generated by cloud-based systems and services to identify potential security incidents, misconfigurations, or unusual or unauthorized activities. And then the last card is defenders deploy and monitor endpoint security solutions to detect and prevent unauthorized access and activity on endpoints.
and we're trying to find how they pivot and escalate. Okay.
I'm torn on this one, but now I'm leaning towards endpoint rather than cloud. I don't know. You guys make the call on this one. I still think endpoint. I don't know, for some reason, endpoint just.
So sounds like 2 votes for endpoint. Anybody else have anything to add? Any arguments, agreements?
Brittany, are you still here?
I'm still here. Y'all.
Still okay. What are you thinking on this one? Because you keep calling cloud. So what's your thought?
No, I didn't call cloud.
Oh, you didn't? Okay. I guess that was
No,
just me.
I
Was that
I
you,
did.
Bonnie?
I
That was
did.
you.
Yeah.
Okay. What's your thought process on going for cloud over endpoint?
Or has anyone changed your mind yet?
I'm wishy-washing, so
I mean, I think it's worth noting that Samuel's brought
I'm
up
the same
some
way,
good
Dawn.
points. So it sounds like we're going with endpoint.
I think we're going with endpoint.
All right. Success. Congratulations, guys.
Yay!
Access token manipulation. The attackers conduct actions under other user/service account tokens. I'll show you guys the details for this, but I mean, not super relevant now that we've finished, but I do have the full story for you guys in a second. Also, if you guys check on school, you guys can find out the information about who this was. If you don't look now, I'll tell you in a second. All right, so deeper inspection of the developer workstation revealed a lightweight script designed to harvest active session tokens, local environment variables, and cached authentication keys. The threat actor used the stolen high-privileged tokens to authenticate directly into Bybit2's deployment pipeline without triggering traditional perimeter multi-factor authentication. By using valid access tokens within the trusted build pipeline, the actor pushed unauthorized code modifications directly into application asset repositories without needing a secondary peer sign-off. Network logs showed programmatic requests periodically refreshing the stolen session tokens from a remote host to maintain access across standard change windows. And so with that, you guys have succeeded, and let me tell you the full story. The incident begins when an attacker quietly poisons a popular open source JavaScript dependency used across Bybit2 developer environments. At the same time, a hidden command and control beacon establishes outbound connection over standard HTTPS. Shortly after, the threat actor uses harvested administrative credentials to quietly alter sensor configurations and unhook agent monitoring functions on the initial build host. This makes endpoint security protection analysis much harder for defenders to rely on. For defenders early on, sorry. With initial access set, the threat actor extracts environment variables from a developer workstation. They use these stolen tokens to pivot directly into Bybit2's CI/CD pipeline, staging a malicious browser extension to maintain persistence across developer environments. To cover their tracks, the attacker executes a payload component strictly inside system memory and timestamps file creation dates across compromised workstations, creating heavy resistance against endpoint analysis. The attack escalates as a malicious script floods network loggers and admin consoles with fake routing updates. IT teams have to lock down internal routing tables to stabilize infrastructure, which completely blocks defenders from playing isolation card. That was for a live incident. While defenders scrambled, the threat actor routes command traffic through the public CDN networks using domain fronting, disguising traffic inside standard TLS sessions, and complicating firewall log analysis. To draw attention away from the core target, the attacker drops a targeted wiper payload on executive laptops. Leadership gets completely tied up, handling the sudden executive outage, locking out crisis management cards. Meanwhile, the threat actor injects randomized low-volume background traffic and jittered beacon intervals across developer subnets, throwing a major curveball into network threat hunting efforts. Approaching the final objective, the threat actor tampers with external API endpoints and third-party portal tokens, dropping external VPN connections. External incident response teams can't connect, effectively disabling calling consultants. The attacker then triggers automated log floods from staging endpoints to overwhelm central log collectors, causing SIM systems to drop incoming event frames and hindering SIM logs. And then, despite dealing with locked routing tables, executive disruptions, and dropped SIM logs, the defenders hold out until turn 10, when the executive management issues the emergency treasury authorization. The defense team gains a critical extra roll bonus at the 11th hour. Responders correlate the domain fronting C2 indicators with the modified DOM elements in the executive web interface right as the multi-sig transfer is submitted. The team halts the transaction at the network node level, revokes the compromised signing portal token, and prevents the $1.5 billion payload from reaching block confirmation on the blockchain. So with all of that being said, great job today, everyone. You all did a great job stepping up and communicating through this. You guys did a lot of great discussion. Today, you guys actually went against a simulation of the Lazarus group, also tracked as APT-38, or Traitor. For a little context, Lazarus is a highly sophisticated North Korean state-sponsored APT. Unlike many threat groups that focus purely on cyber espionage, Lazarus is famous for conducting massive, high-stakes financial heists and supply chain attacks to move funds around international sanctions. They don't rely on just one trick. They blend weaponized open source software dependencies, browser extensions, access token manipulation, and domain fronting to move through networks undetected. Pushing back against an adversary like this takes real coordination and sharp critical thinking, which you all brought today. If today felt fast-paced or overwhelming at times, it's completely normal. The main takeaway from this session, like this, is personal growth. The challenge to each of you today is to pick just one thing that felt foreign or unfamiliar and take a look at it this week. Just one. Remember, whether that's reading up on how supply chain dependencies get poisoned, domain fronting works, or what sub-resource integrity checks do, diving deep into one single topic is how you build the real momentum here. If you want to dig deeper into how the Lazarus Group operates or check out research behind today's session, I have a couple resources for you guys here. There's the CISA advisory here. And then I posted just a few moments ago on School my CTI research on GitHub about Lazarus. Again, thank you guys all for coming, for having such a great discussion, making today's session so awesome. Keep learning, stay curious, and we'll see you guys next time. Does anybody have any questions before we wrap up today?
Perfect. Great job, Hayden. I'm going to say that I want to ask a quick question from, I need one person to tell me something new to learn from this session.
That's a great idea.
It's not so bad being wrong sometimes. It seems like we got ahead by being wrong several times. Just saying.
That's definitely one.
Yeah, I think I learned something. I think what I learned is that teamwork is everything. When everybody brings up their own idea, then you weigh it, and then I think just it's teamwork. No one knows it all. I think that's what I learned.
You guys
Okay,
did a great
nice.
job as a team discussing everything and working together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that we are, since we started these exercises, we are working better as a team and getting better results as we collaborate together. So thank you all.
I couldn't agree more. You guys
That
are
is
doing
so
great.
true. Yeah, so true. In the beginning, it was like all over the place. So, yeah, we're getting better. We're getting there. We're becoming real incident responders, which is great.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
guys are really taking a look at all the little hints that I had for you guys. I was
yeah,
I
glad to
think
see you
great.
I
guys
learned.
picking up on those.
I think I learned to really pay attention to the little details that pop up through the investigation, because sometimes you have to completely pivot in an opposite direction to figure out where you're getting your data. So that was pretty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's what is incident response and threat hunting, right? You gotta look everywhere. There's just so many logs that you can look at, and it's like, okay, where do I even start? So, yeah, just getting that experience of knowing where to start sometimes is great, you know. Yeah, I'm happy for you all who came in and learned something new and continuous growth. This is what these sessions are about. That's why we leave it open to everyone to kind of come in and learn something, and hopefully that helps them in their cyber journey. As I always say, you can use this in your interviews because these are real experiences. You can talk about a Backdoors and Breaches session that you were in, and what you did, how you contributed in that specific session. A lot of people want to hear you talk about how you grow in your cyber career. It's not just about staying and waiting for the job, but it's also about what progress are you making in terms of getting better. So great job, everyone, as always.
I'd
I was
also,
listening through. I kind of missed some parts because I was doing something else, but busy me. So good job. See you all next time.
yeah, I'd
Bye
also like
bye.
to point out too that you guys can mention in the future too that you guys are also getting some CTI based on these, because I always base these off of real threat actor groups. And like I said, I posted my notes if you guys want to take a deeper dive and learn more about like the Bybit heist and everything. Um, I highly recommend it. But great job today, guys. Please reach out if you have any questions. I'll post the recording either later today or tomorrow alongside the notes from today's session. But if you guys have any other questions, just please feel free to reach out.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Have a good
Thank
day.
you.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Have a great
guys.
day,
bye-bye.
everyone.
I'm
Thank you
Great
for
gonna
job,
go
coming
play
in.
on the
Bye-bye.
beach now. Bye.
Take it easy.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Take it easy.
Yeah, bye-bye.